Viewers, just 4 days ahead of the epoch-making Pran Pratishtha at Ayodhya, the Prime Minister released a new set of 6 postage stamps depicting scenes from the Ramayana. The Prime Minister said that the stamps were a tribute to Lord Ram's universal appeal and the Mandir being built to specifications that immortalizes his dharma-based Rajya. Listen in to the Prime Minister, viewers.
साथियों, भगवान श्री राम, माता सीता और रामायण की बातें समय, समाज, जाति, धर्म और क्षेत्र की सीमाओं से परे हर एक व्यक्ति से जुड़ी है। सबसे मुश्किल कालखंड में भी त्याग, एकता और साहस दिखाने वाली रामायण, अनेक मुश्किलों में भी प्रेम की जीत सिखाने वाली रामायण पूरी मानवता को खुद से जोड़ती है।
Viewers, the Prime Minister is not wrong when he says that Lord Ram epitomized the virtues of unity in diversity and diversity in unity. The stamps, for instance, retell Ma Shabri's regard for Lord Ram or Kevat Raj, a Nishad king's devotion to Lord Ram, even though, viewers, they were from lower castes. Many strands of Bhartiyata emanate and link up to Lord Ram. The stamps, viewers, that were released by the Prime Minister also commemorate the great sacrifice of Jatayu, a demigod worshipped by tribals. So these stamps, viewers, in a sense, are an exemplification of diversity in unity. All these diverse communities, sampradayas, all, viewers, united behind Lord Ram's single-minded goal. And of course, viewers, Lord Ram was forever indebted to the contributions made by different echelons and of course different stratas of society. Now, viewers, therefore, even the temple celebrates Lord Ram's inclusive universalism. The temple's superstructure or Sapta Mandapam is also designed to honor Valmiki, the sage Ahilya and sage Agastya, who are revered by many other denominations, especially Dalits and of course tribals. Modi himself suggested that the temple's architecture must reflect Ram's commitment to Sabka Saath that the Prime Minister has often claimed inspires him to serve all Indians equally. Viewers, you can look at those details that I have put out for you on your screens. Let me take you over some of the unique features of these stamps. The stamps commemorates Ma Shabri, a lower caste tribal woman who fed Lord Ram. The stamp commemorates Kevat Raj or Ram's boatman Nishad Raj, a tribal who ferried Ram across the Ganges, Ram and Sita both across the Ganges. It commemorates Jatayu, who defended Sita during her abduction, paying the ultimate, viewers, sacrifice. Jatayu was granted moksha by Lord Ram after he sacrificed his own life and fell in Lepakshi in Andhra Pradesh. As I told you, the Sapta Mandapam of the Mandir was designed to honor Valmiki, Shabri, Ahilya, Nishad Raj and sage Agastya. Reports suggest that the Prime Minister led the efforts to bring out the inclusivity of Lord Ram in a physical manifestation, in the superstructure, very visible, viewers, tangible to all of us, to touch. But viewers, it appears that the Prime Minister's rivals are finding newer and more pernicious attempts and ways to trivialize and stigmatize the seminal event planned on January 22. The Congress is again leading the charge. A top Dalit face of the party is scandalously suggesting that the Pran Pratishtha will coincide with the dawn of a Kalyug for Dalits and other backward castes. Listen in.
आज जो कामेश्वर चौपाल जी चमचागिरी कर रहे हैं वो संविधान ने वो ताकत दिया, डॉक्टर अंबेडकर ने ताकत दिया है। वरना भगवान राम कृष्ण ये तो हजारों वर्ष थे। क्या दुर्गति थी हम लोगों की, और हम लोगों का कलयुग शुरू होगा 22 के बाद।
Viewers, talk is cheap. It is very cheap. You can set the entire country aflame by saying a few misplaced words. Sadly, viewers, Udit Raj is not the only opposition leader fanning fears over the inauguration of the Garbhagriha. If Udit Raj is linking Ayodhya's rise to Brahminism, in a sense, to incite backward castes, then others are trying to mislead the minorities, especially Muslims. Now let's go one by one, viewers. Udit Raj says Ram Rajya was there for thousands of years. Dalits still suffered under Ram Rajya. Our Kalyug will start after January 22. The hard question is Congress linking Ayodhya's rise to Brahminism to incite backward castes? Fundamental question, viewers. K.N. Rajanna, Karnataka minister, Congress minister, he said they kept two dolls in a tent and called it Lord Ram. What is the hard question, viewers, that this statement sparks? The hard question is Congress Karnataka minister sowing doubt in minority minds by doubting the reason for the Mandir's construction, viewers? Shivpal Yadav, Samajwadi Party leader. He is the uncle of the former Chief Minister of Uttar Pradesh, the brother of Mulayam Singh Yadav, who ordered the firing on Kar Sevaks. What does he say? Kar Sevaks were fired upon to protect the constitution, viewers. Many Kar Sevaks died. The hard question is Samajwadi Party scratching at old wounds to communalize the construction of the Ram Mandir itself. Asaduddin Owaisi, Eid Milad un Nabi holiday was cancelled by BJP state government, but partial holiday has been granted on January 22nd, which is an appeasement of the majority. Again, viewers, this statement poses a question. Is Owaisi drawing comparison to fan resentment in Muslim minds, alienate them even further? Udayanidhi Stalin, DMK minister, viewers, he says, we are not in agreement with the construction of a temple after demolishing a mosque. Viewers, no one is asking the more fundamental question, and that question is, how is this even a mosque? It may look like a mosque, but it can't function as one. Why? Because a waqf can't be constituted on desecrated land. This is very much an established part of Muslim personal law. Is Stalin deliberately undermining Hindu laws, stating that deities are eternal and they do not lose land because the idols are destroyed? Viewers, barely 96 hours ahead of the Pran Pratishtha ceremony, our opposition parties trying to misrepresent the legacy of Ram to balkanize Indian society and thereby our nation. Fundamental question. Of course, the BJP must also answer. What is it about their outreach that is failing to build consensus around the Pran Pratishtha? Let's ask some of these questions tonight. Why waste time? Let's go straight in. Let me begin, viewers, by going straight across to the BJP national spokesperson. We also have with us a senior journalist who has seen this entire movement play out over the last 30 years. Now, let me begin with you first, Sanju Verma. All these parties are so aggrieved, they are so pained that, you see, a mosque has been demolished and now a temple is coming up in its place, and how can they legitimize this? Others are saying Yajman is the Prime Minister, how can they legitimize this? Another bunch are saying, I've read out all, they kept 2 dolls, you know what they've been saying. So I'm asking you, where is the BJP failing in carrying this bunch of opposition? Why can't you convince them of your mission? Why can't you build consensus?
Rahul, first and foremost, thank you for putting out that very consummate and comprehensive introduction to put things in perspective. I'll, dive straight and deep into the issue at hand. First and foremost, let's be very honest. The opposition suffers from persecution complex. They are the perpetual pessimistic Khan market gang, as the Prime Minister had said a couple of years back. They are conspiracy theorists. And I'll tell you why. I don't see the BJP, the need for the BJP to go overboard in trying to cajole and persuade the opposition point of view. And I'll tell you why I feel so. This may be an unpopular opinion, but be that as it may. Don't forget that it was on, August 2020 that the Prime Minister laid the Shilanyas, the foundation stone of the Ram temple. And in a historic address, then he said, Ram hum sabke hain, Ram hum sab mein hai. Clearly outlining the BJP's inclusivity in terms of the Ram Mandir issue. After that, I remember that, in December 2020, the inauguration, the foundation stone of the Central Vista project was laid. A couple of senior opposition leaders were called, but they chose not to attend the Shilanyas of the Central Vista project. Then in July 2022, if you remember, the Prime Minister and Mr. Hardeep Puri, they inaugurated the Sarnath lion emblem atop the new Parliament building. And do you remember, Rahul, since you have a good memory, what the opposition had to say? Oh my God, the lions look very aggressive, they look very predatory, the fangs are wide and bare, Excuse me, a lion is supposed to be aggressive, a lion is supposed to be territorial, a lion is supposed to be royal, majestic, a lion is not supposed to mew like a cat or bleat like a sheep. I mean, look at the agenda of the opposition, sometimes I find it so laughable. Then I remember the 28th of May 2023, which was a very historic event. On that day, almost everybody, the who's who of the opposition, was invited by the ruling dispensation for the Sengol ceremony. If you remember, on the 28th of May 2023, the Sengol was placed next to the Lok Sabha Speaker's chair in the Parliament amidst citing of Hindu hymns, Vedic rituals, and 38 Adinam from Tamil Nadu had made their presence felt, and how the entire opposition boycotted. And very recently, this entire cabal has been saying, "Arey Draupadi Murmu ji to kyun nahi bulaya? Draupadi Murmu ji ke haathon se ye hona chahiye tha, wo hona chahiye tha." If you really have so much respect for the president, for Draupadi Murmu ji, then please tell me, on the 9th of September 2023, 172 high-profile delegates from 20 countries, including India, were invited by the president, no less, for a sit-down formal dinner. Did Siddaramaiah, the Chief Minister of Karnataka, attend? No. Did the then Chief Minister of Rajasthan, Ashok Gehlot, attend? No.
Okay.
Did the then Chief Minister of Chhattisgarh, Bhupesh Baghel, attend? No. So the limited point I'm making is that there is a cabal, Rahul. Please understand. They will always see the glass as half empty. They will never see the glass as half full. यदि मोदी जी कहेंगे, अरे कांग्रेस तो बढ़िया पार्टी है, कैसे कहा आपने कांग्रेस बढ़िया पार्टी है? Don't you know we are unable to keep our flock together, and we've seen the latest exit of Milind Deora after a few of the other high-profile exits over the last couple of years. So, do you remember that when the Prime Minister said Surya Namaskar is great for health? They said, "Kyun? Surya Namaskar is a Hindu pratha. Why should we Muslims celebrate
So are you suggesting?
Namaskar?" So the limited point I'm making is that there is this famous saying, a man convinced against his will is of the same opinion still. And the opposition, unfortunately, barring a few pockets here and there, they belong to this fraternity which simply refuses to see the writing on the wall. And the writing on the wall is this, Rahul, that today India is a country which celebrates more than 33 gods and goddesses. We have 12 Jyotirlingas. We have more than 65 lakh sons, seers and priests. We have 13 akhadas, including the Juna Akhada. And we have 4 Shankaracharyas. We have 38 Adilans, we have, dozens of Ramanandacharyas.
I understand.
But look at this entire cabal. They have picked out those two Shankaracharyas who never ever concealed their political affiliations to drive this narrative that Shankaracharyas en masse have decided to boycott the event, which is a whole lot of balderdash.
Okay, let me bring in Smita Prakash, who's the editor of ANI. Now, Smita Prakash, I just have to ask you this fundamental question because it troubles me to see our country so divided when the figure that is being honored is such a unifying one. How is this possible? I can't understand this. Can you explain it to me?
I think it is the noise of a raucous democracy. That's all I can think of. You were listing out the number of people who have objections to the Ram Mandir. In fact, one of the articles, a very senior editor said, but South mein to kuch hai hi nahi iske bare mein. And then I read an article in a very, very major daily which said that this is a North Indian temple and it's a North Indian fervor. In the past week, in the past 5 days, I've been in Kerala and Telangana, and sure enough, the news channels in these two states do not reflect the fervor that you see on national television, on the fervor in the Hindu community, the fervor in so many people across the nation. But you don't see that in the TV channels in these two states, and that's probably because of the politics of those two states. It is reflecting in that. But what is happening is that the television channels are not reflecting the fervor among the people. The Prime Minister was in Andhra Pradesh. The Prime Minister was in Kerala. He's, I believe, going to be in Tamil Nadu on the 21st, 22nd. He's going to Tiruchirappalli, where he'll perform a puja and the verses of the Kamban Ramayana will be played. The fact is that the Ayodhya Mandir, like other temples in this country, are not North Indian or South Indian. The Ayodhya Mandir, you've been running reports. The architecture is Nagara style. Some elements of Rameshwaram, Tirupati, Kanchipuram temples are visible to some of us who are not even experts on this. The murti selected is from Karnataka, South India. The idol makers from there. The granite used came from Telangana, South India. The woodwork has come from Maharashtra. The company that is making it is from Andhra Pradesh. Workers are from Tamil Nadu. So, the temples of this country are not restricted. You go to Vietnam, you go to Cambodia, you go to Laos. The Indian temples out there have workers coming in from different parts of the country who came and built those temples in those countries. And you have people of all faiths visiting them. And in India too, do you think that the Char Dhams are visited only by the people who live in that region? Are the Shakti Peeths places where only people from that region visit? It's open to people of all castes, communities, religions. It's open to everybody. There are just a few temples which restrict, as per those laws, which restrict within the Garbhagriha. That also you can count in your fingers. So, these politicians or intellectuals who try to compartmentalize worshippers and believers in this country, they will be proved wrong, like they've been proved wrong over the centuries.
Well, Smita Prakash, thank you for actually putting that into perspective. Let's not forget, viewers, that yes, we are a noisy democracy, but what is democratic about not sanctifying by being present at a function important to Hindus? I mean, think about it. If you decide to trivialize or boycott a particular function that is important to a significant number of people in this country, that's not a democratic act. That suggests something very different to me. Now let me test this and let me bring in Mr. Jindal, Congress party leader. Mr. Jindal, I want to ask you, and you please put your hand on your heart, because I know that your heart beats true, not only for this country, but also for your conscience. So first you put your hand on your heart. Please do that right now, like this.
Okay, yeah, sure.
Yeah, now your heart is not, it's in the middle. Don't put it on the left. Don't show me your political, put it right in the middle. Come on, put it in the middle. Yeah, now that's right. Now you're being honest to yourself. Now I want to ask you a question.
Yes.
Will you reciprocate the invite if the trust set up to construct the Grand Mosque invites you? Fundamental question. Number two, sir. Can you explain to me why, if not to stir up emotions, is a Karnataka minister talking about Ram's idol in such disparaging manner to basically declare it a doll? Two basic questions. No, your hand is not on your heart. Put your hand back on your heart.
Okay,
Come
okay.
on. Here,
On
put it
my
here.
heart and
Now,
soul, I'll tell you.
now respond.
Yes, if I am invited,
No,
I will
back
go
here.
in an individual capacity.
Back here, sir, back here,
I'll go
please.
in an individual capacity.
You will go in an
I will
individual
go-
capacity.
Yes.
No,
I will
I'm
not
asking you,
politicize it.
should your party go? Yes or no?
I'll tell you the reason. I just need few seconds to put forth my point. My hand is on my heart. It was in 2020. Now, Sanju Verma was talking about the foundation stone laying ceremony on 5th of August 2020. You know, the chief spokesperson of the Nirmohi Akhada, Mahant Sitaram Das, he stated that Prime Minister Narendra Modi should not lay the foundation ceremony because he is a Raja, not a Dharmacharya. Even till date, Hindu Mahasabha, Nirmohi Akhada, they criticized BJP for politicizing this event. They say that it's a religious event. It should have been treated as a religious event. There should have been a Mahant, a Dharmacharya, who should have carried out all the due rituals and procedures. Now, I am a Hindu and I have immense devotion towards Lord Ram. And as a Hindu, there are certain basic tenets that I adhere to. For me, visiting a temple is like Brahma Sakshatkar.
Okay.
The Shikhar represents the Mount Meru, the Amalak and the Kalash. And that is, Mount Meru is considered as the central of the Brahmand. And just below it is the deity presiding. And when the Pradakshina is carried out, it's a Hindu or a devotee is actually carrying out the Pradakshina of the entire Brahmand. That's what is the completion of the entire prayer and the ritual. Now, please answer, Rahul, if as a Hindu, I were to look at such an important temple, it's termed as a Tirth Sthal, I would expect the ruling party to respect the rituals, to all the tenets that are stated in the scriptures as they are. The Shankaracharyas are opposing. Nirmohi Akara is questioning. Hindu Mahasabha is questioning. And then you only see the opposition that is led by Congress. Now, Congress is asking the constitutional.
Okay.
It is questioning why is this politicization taking place.
Why is it taking place? So you should answer that question, Mr. Jindal.
Yes, it is,
No, 1 minute.
it is
Again,
for-
hand on your heart, please. You have again. Whenever
The-
you move
the
your hand off your heart, then you
2019
start
Supreme
spewing.
Court,
No, 1 minute. Let me ask you your counter question. Fine. This is a political, out and out political event. Even though the Prime Minister is one of the Yajmans and not the only Yajman, and the Nirmohi Akhada is going to be there in all its glory. But let me ask you, Mr. Jindal, the Somnath temple, you remember that? Or have you
Yes.
confined that to the back recesses of your memory? You remember that?
I remember it. Please ask.
Who sanctioned the construction of the Somnath temple? At least the Ram Mandir has been sanctioned by a verdict from the Supreme Court, but who sanctioned the construction of the Somnath temple, sir?
It was under Jawaharlal Nehru that the Somnath temple was constructed.
But why? Who is he? Why should he have? Was he not a politician or was he a Dharm Guru?
No, the constitution was not yet passed at that point of time. The
Sir, a cabinet
was
sat,
adopted-
an interim.
no,
So
wait,
why?
wait,
Okay, if
it
the
was in
constitution, hang on.
1948.
If the constitution was not passed, why was he tinkering with it? The First
No,
Amendment
he
was
was not
brought
tinkering at
by an
all.
interim government. That means the First Amendment was illegal.
No. First Amendment
No,
of the
you see, my
Constitution
dear
was
man,
only carried out
my dear
after
man,
1915,
my
once
dear
it had
man,
been
my dear
adopted
man,
and enacted.
my dear man,
In
my dear man,
1948,
my dear man,
in
my dear man,
1940 I'll
Mr.
just let me
Jindal,
complete the
Mr.
point.
Jindal, the President of India attended the consecration and the temple construction, and only the Garbhagriha, as you can see, was standing there. Was that an act of politics? Did the Commander-in-Chief of Indian state and the Indian army,
what
did he
did the Prime
politicize by
Minister-
going there?
I'll just answer. What did the Prime Minister say? The Prime Minister kept appealing to all the politicians.
Sir,
as well
did his
as all
cabinet
the
pass the
statesmen
resolution for the
not to
construction of
politicize
Somnath? Yes or
even-
no? Yes or no?
I want to answer.
Listen,
No,
people can
Rahul,
speak in a forked tongue.
There was-
And the
there
Congress
was no
have become experts at
politicization.
that. Let me give you an example, viewers. One of their great ustads from Karnataka, K.N. Rajana, says, they kept 2 dolls in a tent and called it raw drum. Do you know, viewers, that this entire ceremony on January 22nd, one chapter of the Congress party in Uttar Pradesh is going to telecast it live? If we are only honoring dolls, then why are they telecasting it live? Why did some of the congressmen land up there 2 days ago? To do what? To honor dolls. Viewers, people speak in forked tongues. This gentleman says we should never politicize. We should never interfere in religion. Who opened the locks of the Babri Masjid, viewers? Was it not Rajiv Gandhi? That's why I asked him to put his hand here on his heart. The moment he left it, like an ECG, viewers, you remove your hand and guess what?
No,
The
I'm always
valve
speaking
leaks,
from my heart.
lies.
My conscience is true.
No, sir.
I'm
If your
never
conscience was true, your hand would have been on your heart while you were answering me all through. Sanju Verma wants to respond to you. Look what you've done,
please.
Sanju Verma. You've defiled this entire event by politicizing it. The Prime Minister is there. You were warned by Shankaracharyas not to be there, etc., etc. Please respond. These are important things that Mr. Jindal, even though I have exposed them time and again, they need to be answered. You need to repeat the answer.
Rahul, I do a zillion debates, and I can tell you Lokesh is one of the more sensible ones.
He is?
Though I completely disagree with him. So you can imagine how the rest are. I have this to say. I am not somebody who can weigh in on what our Hindu sons and seers have to say. Suddenly, everybody seems to have become an expert on Hinduism. But, I'm a voracious reader, and what I have gathered is that the most auspicious, time in the Hindu calendar for an event as bhavya as the consecration ceremony on the 22nd is a week after Makar Sankranti. The Makar Sankranti was there on the 15th of this month on a Monday, and you have the consecration ceremony on coming Monday, exactly after 7 days, on the 7th day. On the 15th, on the Makar Sankranti day, you have the sun move into the Makar Rashi, is what religious leaders say, which is moving into the axis of the Capricorn, which is supposed to be very, very shubh, very, very auspicious. And 7 days after that, there is the convergence of what is called the Siddhi Amrit Yoga and the Siddhi Sarvarth Yoga. And because of the convergence of these two, Siddhi Amrit Yoga and Siddhi Sarvarth Yoga, 1 week after Makar Sankranti, there could not have been a date better than 22nd January, and there could not have been a time better than 12:29 p.m. because that is when you have the...
We are not talking about the time. We are talking about the guest list. He is talking about the guest list. He has a problem with the Prime Minister being there because he says this conflates politics or the profane with the sacred.
20 seconds. I will answer that in
20 seconds, and I want to bring in the Islamic scholar. Yes.
Let's be very honest. I think most of us who are sane-minded believe in a lot of what Mahatma Gandhi has to say. And I say this to the ignorant, please read page number 504, My Experiments with Truth, written by Mahatma Gandhi, where he very brazenly and unapologetically says that religion and politics have coexisted for the longest time and are deeply intertwined. And people who say that religion has nothing to do with politics neither understand religion nor understand politics. And don't forget, decades back, it was Lokmanya Bal Gangadhar Tilak who started the Ganpati festival as a rallying force to bring Hindus together. So religion and politics have been intertwined for the longest time.
Let me say, viewers, if the Congress, and again, you see, I think the BJP spokesperson was being very charitable to Mr. Jindal, though I do agree with her. He's one of the sensible ones. Only when his heart is in it. Now, his heart was not in it. And therefore, if the Congress is really aspiring for a secular state, they should immediately come out and support the UCC. Then we will have a truly secular state, but they won't. Nonetheless, 1 minute. Before I come back for the final words to Smita Prakash, I want to bring in the Islamic scholar, ARehman. ARehman, I want to ask you a very basic question tonight. Now, everyone is worried that, this mosque was brought down and look, it is now that demolition is being legitimized through this consecration. I want to ask you, sir, since you're a scholar and I'm nobody, isn't it true that a waqf can only be constituted on a land which is pristine and which has never been desecrated? Is it true? A waqf for a mosque can only be constructed on pristine land. Yes or no, sir? Just tell me this.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Okay,
Rahul.
then hold on. My second question.
Rahul, may I
if that
put
is the
thing?
case, then how was the Babri structure a mosque? Can you explain to me? Because it stood on a previous structure that was brought down, demolished, destroyed.
Fine. Rahul, as far as the judgment of the Supreme Court goes, it clearly explains to the people of India, not the BJP, but the people of India got the comprehension that the Supreme Court said no temple, no Rama temple was demolished to build the Babri Masjid. Set aside.
Can you read
said
this?
very,
Can you
very
read it?
correctly,
Can you
and
read
this
it?
has been repeated.
Can you read it? Where
No,
is it
I do
saying?
not have the script
You see,
right
viewers,
now.
you
I
are
don't-
quoting
I
a
am sorry.
judgment.
If you want to deny,
but you
you
don't
deny.
have. There is no denying. There is no question of denying, sir.
I don't have the judgment. The judgment is
Then,
in
sir, I'm
public
sorry.
domain. The
I'm sorry
judgment is
because there
all
was an
through in public
ASI
domain.
survey that was
And I
conducted
know
which
you
showed
won't
that there were
believe.
the remains of a Hindu structure.
at least let me have my say.
No, sir. I cannot allow you to mislead. This is a very sensitive issue. If you don't have the facts, I cannot allow you because you know
No,
what
in
that
fact,
means,
I want to
viewers.
make
When
things
people
crystal
say,
clear as
when
far as
people
the
negate,
Muslims of
no, one
India are
second. When
concerned.
people
If I
negate
am
the
allowed.
basic valid reason for the reconstruction of the temple, then viewers, what they're trying to suggest is that the Hindus are an intolerant bunch that leapt in there and did what
Rahul,
they did
I
without
need
any
30
cause
seconds,
except for
please.
hate. No, sir, you cannot get away with this tonight. I need you to
Rahul,
take those 30 seconds. Please dig out the part
I
of the
need-
Supreme Court judgment that said this. I want to bring in Smita Prakash. I will not, sir. On this matter, I will not today take a step back.
Then
you can
I
call
will have
me.
to leave this.
Sir, you
I
can
will have
call
to
me
leave
intolerant,
this
you can call me.
platform,
I
Rahul.
cannot allow
I will have to
a
leave
argument
this
without
platform
fact.
if you do not
No, sir.
allow.
You need to build on that
My
argument
God.
by showing me the
My
facts.
heart, what I believe in the Rama temple. May I?
Yeah, okay.
May I-
Go ahead.
To give lectures on
As a citizen
Go
of
ahead.
India, I have a right to put
Do I
across.
give you lectures on the Quran?
Go
I
ahead.
don't
Go
do
ahead.
that.
Go
You
ahead,
are
sir.
here to give
Okay,
lectures
let
on
him.
Thank you, Rahul. Thank you so much.
Let Mr. Rahman tell us what the Ram temple means to him. I have no problem listening to that. Yes.
The Muslims across in which I meet them since the 15 and 20 days, they are so euphoric that a very, very great historic event like the Rama temple is coming up. What muddies the entire event is the politicization of the event, not only by the BJP, Rahul, but by all political parties. And please look at the very fair scale of things. The Muslims of India are very much euphoric.
Right.
But
If
who
they
is
were so
opposing?
euphoric, sir,
The
what took them?
majority
What? No,
Hindus
one
are
second.
opposing.
Let me just step in here, viewers. One again. Look, they might be euphoric. I'm glad that they are euphoric. But viewers, the Muslims of India will also have to reflect on the past. If they were so keen that Hindus should be given their basic religious rights which are promised to them under the constitution, why didn't they just hand over what was such a significant area of belief for the Hindu community all these years? Why did this
It
matter
has
have to
been
go to
done by the
excuse me,
Supreme
sir,
Court
why did it
utilizing
have to go to the
its
Supreme
special
Court? There were several attempts at mediating a settlement.
special
In fact, you
powers of
heard
the
viewers,
Supreme
okay, now
Court
you're going to
have been
keep shouting.
utilized
In fact,
and
viewers,
all
yesterday you heard, अरे सर
accepted.
मेरे को आप बख्श दो
I am shouting because
मेरे को आप
you
बख्श
are
दो
negating
मेरे को आप
our
बख्श दो
very
Are you
large
abdicating your rights to the
मेरे को आप
Jnana
बख्श दो
Mandir?
सर मेरे को आप बख्श दो
Abdicating your rights to the Krishna
मेरे को आप
Janma
बख्श दो
are making Muslims in a very, very
No,
bad
no,
light.
sir, I am not, sir. I am actually stating the facts. One minute. No, you see, you are going to go off on a tangent. 1 minute. Smita Prakash, one very quick question to you. You see,
Is it a tangent?
labels, I'm going to have to lower your fader if you're going to use this platform to spread hate, sir. That's not going to be in my guidebook, please lower his fader. I've told him once, I've told him twice. Now, I just want to very quickly ask you, Smita Prakash, there is an issue, and that issue is of trust. Trust on both sides today. There's a fault line, and people are picking at that seam to spread more and more vile vitriol. I'm not going to tonight say one side is guiltier than the other, but how do you eschew triumphalism from a moment like this? 30 seconds, and I want to bring in Ashwin Sanghi after that.
You should. No, I don't think one should do it. And I really take objection to saying that they're muddying of waters. Just because somebody is not being part of the Pran Pratishtha, they're doing some kind of a boycott, that doesn't mean that it's been muddied. Yeah. There are millions, if not billions, who are committed to the Ayodhya temple, and they certainly are not seeing any muddied waters out here. You don't want to be part of the Pran Pratishtha, don't be part of it. That doesn't matter to the people who are going to be there, who are coming with their astha. As far as politicization is concerned, those who want to say that this is something, suddenly everybody is a dharmadhikari, who know ki is taraf se aana hai, us taraf se aana hai, aise karna hai, waise karna hai. The point is that if anybody tries to say that it's only dharmadhikaris, it should have only been the religious people and not anybody else. The point is that it is the BJP, VHP, RSS and the others who spearheaded the movement, who took it forward, and that is the reason we are seeing the Ayodhya Mandir coming up, and not just the religious leaders. There are a whole lot of people, including car sevaks, who gave up their lives for this temple to come up. So there are hundreds of thousands of Hindus who have given their blood, sweat and tears for this mandir. That includes it becoming a political event. It includes it becoming an RSS event, a VHP event. This mandir is more than any of them. It's more than the Shankaracharyas, with due respect. It's more than the Vidyapeeths. It's more than the Akhadas. It is the Hindu faith. It is millions and billions who are included in this construction and the consecration of the idol.
Well, let me tell you, viewers, Mahatma Gandhi himself said and wrote in Young Indian, for example, viewers, that the Somnath temple needs to be reconstructed. And had he been alive to see that day, he would definitely have been there. Now, would the Congress have said that the presence of Mahatma Gandhi, who really founded the Congress movement, was an act of political impropriety? I don't think so, viewers. Just like they did not say that the presence of the president then at Somnath was an act of political impropriety. So you choose your moment, viewers, according to the political context, unfortunate as it is. Let's